Content warning. Echo can be emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. I run north, tripping over myself constantly as I can barely see where I'm going. I probably peaked the mic so many times from doing that voice. Everything hurts. My insides are burning. Nothing will ever be the same again. I can hear him behind me panting furiously like a feral. I come through the clearing, then I hear him stop. When I turn around, he's not looking at me anymore. The duck that Dad shot landed squarely on the hood of the abandoned van. Dad looks at the duck, the van, me, the sky itself. He sets his rifle down on the ground. What? What? Next thing I know, he crouches down to his haunches. He rubs his forehead, his thumbs running along the brim of his too tight scout hat. It's almost like he's sucking down on his scalp. I can practically see the veins bulge along the temple. He opens his mouth to speak, but though no sound comes out, Dad's fingers grip at the loose strands of grass at his feet, as if he were there to try to keep him tethered from floating away. I hate looking at him like this. What is he doing? He shuts his eyes. Or more like he clenches them shut, like he's got shampoo in them or something. He's praying? Fucking stupid idiot. God's not real, you know. Son. He finally speaks, and he doesn't sound like himself. What? From the hood of the truck, little rivers of blood splay out from the duck's chest, dripping down in front of the grill. Its eyes are still open, even though it's dead. I always thought when something died, your eyes close and your tongue sticks out. It looks like it's staring at me. Dad doesn't respond, but he finally looks up and sees what I'm seeing. He sucks in his chest as if he'd been struck. He shuts his eyes again. His whole body shakes for a moment like he's having a spaz attack. It's not the same van. It's not the same van, he mutters. I don't want to watch this. I'm about to turn and walk away when I see something move in the back of the van. Just for a split second, what I swear, I saw a face through the dusty glass. Son. Dad repeats himself. Dad? Again, there's a flash of red like something bouncing up. Dad, there's someone in the van. Dad says nothing. He won't even look now. There's someone in there. I know it. I wipe my eyes with my sleeves, clenching my fists, and stepping closer to the rear window. I smear away the dust and the glass and press the tip of my muzzle against the window. Nothing. What the hell? When I step back, Dad's up on his feet again. He doesn't look angry anymore. Just sad or empty, I guess. He picks up his rifle from the ground, holding it sort of limply with one paw. Without a word, he turns his head back through the clearing from where we came. I stand there for a while, listening to the steps trail off. My gut begins to feel like it's being twisted into a knot. Why didn't he say anything? He always says something. Any other time he opened his mouth, I practically flinch. So why do I feel like this now? He won't actually leave me out here, will he? I cross my arms over my chest, hugging myself. Minutes pass and nothing happens. It's like I'm rooted in place, consistently wiping my eyes and nose. Just gotta be tough. Mean. I am tough. I just don't know what to do. What the hell am I supposed to do? I hate this. Why did I have to say all that? Nothing will ever be the same again. Even if I go home, my parents will just ship me off to live with my uncle in the compound. You know what? Maybe that'll be fine. At least then my parents couldn't threaten me with that anymore. Maybe I'll even like making airplane parts. I don't need video games or TV or my friends. And that'll be fine because at least I won't be around them, especially Dad. Still, no footsteps. I would hear if he started up the truck from here, I think. Guess he hasn't left yet. Maybe I should start a fire or something. I never could get one going on my own in the past, but that's probably because I wasn't trying very hard. I look around and start gathering any twigs or dried grass I could find. Everything is kind of damp, though. That wouldn't matter as long as I rub it hard enough. Flynn would probably make a joke about that, or at least show me what the heck I'm supposed to do. Flynn is the outdoorsy type. outdoorsy one of the group who knows all the survival stuff by heart. Which is weird, because he's gay and all. He's like the least gay acting gay guy ever. I remember once he told me that liking girls is too girly for him. I guess that makes sense. He's not like the kind of you see in the movies or how my parents describe them. I sigh, sitting down and splaying out on the bed of dry grass and twigs with a single coarse stone in the middle. After that, I take two of the sturdiest looking sticks and begin rubbing them together like they do on TV. Here I am rubbing a bunch of faggots. And of course, nothing's happening. They're getting kind of warm, but they won't rub right. Not enough friction, I think. I grip my teeth and I feel something crawl up my arm. Oh my god, that was gross feeling. Oh. I don't care if it gets dirty now. The pads of my paws are starting to really hurt, so I bite the inside of my cheek. I look down on the pile of twigs and think I see a spark. I quicken the rubbing only for the twig to slip and scrape along the edge of my paw. I cry out in pain as a thin line of blood appears on my fur. Ugh. I inhale sharply. This is so stupid. I hate this. I throw the sticks down and cover my face with my paws, sucking on my cut. What am I doing? God, what am I supposed to do? I rock myself back and forth slowly, remembering what the school counselor told me. Imagine these feelings are as a physical thing that you can hold. Then take a deep breath and begin to rip these feelings apart as if they were a piece of paper that you don't want anymore. Finally, imagine a calm place and a happy place. Somewhere you can go be alone and at peace. I sniff, making like the ripping motions and closing my eyes. I've won the fight! People in the crowd can't believe it. I look across the sea of faces. They all hate me. Well, maybe not all. I know there's one in this crowd who doesn't. I see him in the back where he usually likes to be. Dad's still standing there, his eyes puffy. Dad, please. You were right for once. I swallow back, a blubbering sob, wiping snot from my muzzle. It's been so long, I can't take this anymore. Stop it! Things used to be different. He inhales raggedly, tugging at the end of his facial scruff with one free paw. I used to feel things in real time. Now it's all like a memory of a thing. He continues to stare at the van. Like this isn't happening. It happened. It will happen. I don't know. It don't matter. I feel a paw tug tighter on the rifle. No, please stop. I pull back my end of it. You know you can't stop me. I love you, please stop. He's not even crying anymore. He's just standing there, only turning to look at me whenever he pulls the barrel of the gun closer to his chin. I wish I was stronger. I really wish. Thought I could move away, forget it ever happened. Move on, find redemption in the Lord. It's never that simple, is it? I don't know what you're talking about. My voice is shrill and hoarse at this point. Sometimes I can't even speak. I want to call out for help, but there's no one around. But Eliza had to move back here, and I loved her. So I had to grin and bear it, as they say. He wets his lips. I can't. He rolls his eyes in a strange, exaggerated fashion. Anytime I try to escape, be it physical, or through some other such diversions, it all just keeps coming back to me. Just going in circles. I begin sobbing on this pant leg, clinging to it as I pull hard as I can on the gun. It's never enough. You won't let go. Let's just go home, okay? Please, let's just go home. I'm sorry. Dad says nothing. Something stirs from within the back of the van. Even with my vision blurred with tears, it's clearer than it was before. It's a face. Dad begins to move again, bringing the rifle end to his chin. No, please. I grab Dad's paw, trying to pull his fingers away from the trigger. I yank as hard as I can. No eyes. Find him. Hey, is there any more of that oatmeal you brought left? TJ stands beside the bed, peering down at me. Oh no, were you asleep? I blink. Chase, I'm sorry. We were moving around so much I didn't know. Chase? Right. It's okay, TJ. I push myself up, feeling the bed sheets sticking to my back of my fur. My shirt is drenched and I smell awful. Are you okay? A concerned look crosses the Link's face. I'm not sure how to respond. I'll get some water. He smiles at me the eerily genuine way he does. He turns and walks to the sink. There's a subtle sound of oldies music coming from behind me, the suite next door. Sunlight peeks in through the beige drapery, but everything outside is just a pale glow. I can't gauge what time it is. I try to move my paw and it's slow to react. Every piece of my body is tingling with a sort of damp vibration. Sleep paralysis? But I'm awake and I just moved a second ago. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. I blink again and little floaties dance in front of my eyes. Blobs, swirl, and smiley faces that flee whenever my gaze catches them. I let out a long exhale through my nostrils and shift my weight to my tail behind me. Today is Saturday. Today is the day. And isn't it beautiful today? Did I say that out loud? He holds the polyester cup directly in front of my muzzle. I could smell it. The water. Way too mineralized, like a foggy calcium broth. But calcium can't hurt you. It's just bones, right? Like a clockwork automaton, I feel my arm jerk in a rise, grasping the cup and bringing the contents to my lips. I finish it in 3 swallows. Water. It's been so long since I swam. I'm starting to really feel the need for it. The air is fine, but it's nothing. Water is something. It's got pressure, it hugs you, so you move through it. Nobody understands that like we do, I guess. I realize CJ is staring at me and I give him a look. Another smile, though this one is more sheepish. With a small grunt, I manage to throw my legs out from under the covers, my feet touching the firm carpet beneath. Rub the sleep from my eyes. I slept like 11 hours. Why do I feel like this? Looking around, I notice the bed next to me is empty. Where's Jenna? My voice comes out higher pitched than I intended, and I quickly cleared my throat. Ugh, she went out. I'm not exactly sure where. I stare at him. My eyes still only half open. Were we supposed to go hiking? I mean, she said she'd like to. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Why do you want to go to hike so much? What? TJ frowns. You grew up here and you hiked all the time as a kid. Shouldn't you be sick of it by now? The lynx dips his paws into his pocket, his lips pursing as he delays his response. Well, my parents didn't want me to go out too far or anywhere too dangerous. There's still a lot of trails I haven't been on. This is Echo. You can see everything around you for miles. Not much surprise when you can see the entire trail. Like going through a forest and a big mountain, and I can understand some of the appeal, but not this. I sort of raise my arms in a gesture to everything. Nothing at the same time. TJ, meanwhile, just shakes his head. I think I understand what you mean, Chase, but hiking isn't about being surprised. So what if you can see what's coming? It's what happens when you're there that matters. TJ smiles again with that same youth pastor-esque vigor. I can tell it's genuine, but there's always the feeling I get that there's something going on behind those blue eyes that's not right. Growing up, I always chalked it up to his unwavering, hypocritical dogma in contrast to my whole liking dicks thing, but now I don't know. It was never enough to bother me too much, but I'm starting to wonder if this is what Flynn sees too. Jenna ate the last of the oatmeal. Oh, I guess I'll stop by the diner again. Then I wanted to check up on Janice anyway. What are you gonna have? I don't know. I'm not usually the breakfast type. When I wake up, everything is in my mouth just tastes like gross and it kills my appetite. Oh, yeah, I understand. TJ nods, turning to move back to the mini fridge. He opens it, staring inside as if looking hard enough would make a fruit parfait appear. That being said, I'm starting to miss the student union food court. Something fierce. I think I hear TJ chuckle a little. You would really like our campus cafeteria. We got a cereal bar, around 25 different types of cereal to choose from. You can even make your own protein bar and that sort of thing. It's really cool. That actually sounds pretty good, even though my palate sort of tastes like a mix of sawdust and barf right now. Lynx pulls out a wrapped rice treat, peering at it with a squinty expression. That's a creative way of describing that. I'm almost not hungry anymore. He holds up the treat, the blue foil catching the window's light in a bit of a curious way. I'm not sure why this is in the fridge. Oh, I just threw the whole bag of stuff I picked up from the convenience store in there. Would you like this? Yeah, sure, I'll take it. TJ nods, tossing the treat in a gentle arc my way. I almost catch it. Almost. Ow. I rub the end of my snout as TJ look at me wide-eyed. Oh, crimey. That hit you square. Chase, I'm sorry. That's okay, I'm still waking up, I guess. I begin unwrapping the foil packaging. I'm gonna eat this and shower, okay? Not at the same time, right? No. Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't hit you too hard. Another sheepish smile. I manage one in return this time. I take a bite of the treat and, to my surprise, it's actually pretty cold. It's pretty okay cold. After a moment, I notice the blue light flashing on my phone. A new message. A pang of guilt sets in. I realize my first thought is, please don't be Leo. It's Carl. Come over, boy. I stare at the message for a good 8 seconds before remembering Carl's shtick. God. Wait, oh shit, that's right. Today's his interview. I'll be over soon. I pause. Winky face. There. I set the phone back down and then I stand and toss the treat paper into the bin besides the bed. TJ glances up at me momentarily. He's also looking at his phone. Carl's got a job interview up in Peyton today. TJ looks up from his phone, grinning. Wow, that's really great. I still remember when he worked at the market shop we used to have on Elizabeth Street. Market soup? Why did I turn that into soup? Where is this one at? A print shop, I think. I don't know. Carl seemed kind of hesitant to talk about it. Oh. Well, tell him that I'm wishing him good luck, and that it's always really important that you smile. If you look like you're happy and excited, then the interviewers might get that way too. It's infectious, right? Right. I've gotten literally all my jobs because of my parents were friends with someone who has hiring. I can relate to that. I suppose I never really had to worry about interviewing. A noise comes from outside, the sound of jingling keys, and the door begins to unlock. So the police finally show up. Jenna steps inside, giving me a bit of a curious look when she noticed I'm still in my sleepwear. Are they going to do anything? I doubt it. She strides across the room, grabbing a bottle of water from the mini fridge. Why is that? The cops seem more suspicious of me than anything. She lets out a sigh of exasperation. They asked me if I've been taking any drugs. Jesus. Guess they're not used to seeing people our age around here that aren't. I think it was more of anti-native sentiment than anything. Really? Yeah. Jenna looks back at me. Chase, you really should shower. I blink. What? I noticed when I walked in, this whole room has your oily musk scent. It's not very flattering. I frowned deeply, covering my armpits and pushing my tail back over my behind. All right, I was going anyway. I rise to stand before moving to the bathroom. TJ gives me a sympathetic look as I pass. I shut the door behind me after stepping inside. With a few quick tugs, I remove my shirt and underwear, then place them on the edge of the counter. At home, I just throw them on the floor, but I don't really trust how clean the linoleum is here. I step into the shower, it gets hot as quick, so I fiddle around with the handle more. Then some gray fur tucked in the corner. There's some gray fur tucked in the corner, so I'm guessing TJ took one this morning. I bent down, picking up the tiny complimentary shampoo bottle from the rack, began to lather the contents over my body. It's not exactly the best for my fur type, but it'll work for now. Though, I still can't shake the feeling that I have cigarette smoke baked into my pores. You know, in comparison to the communal dorm showers, this is actually kind of nice. Contrary to what many think, they're not as sexy as porn makes you believe. I began lathering further down, usually I rope out during a shower time. Though at this moment, I'm pretty devoid of those feelings. Ever since I got here, back in Echo, I felt more detached from everything than I usually do. Like all this stuff is going around me and I'm just here. When I woke up this morning, it was as if I wasn't sure what was the dream and what was real. I don't even recall what the dream was about. TJ distracted me before I could really archive it, or however it works with remembering dreams. There's this feeling of sorrow and fear and general helplessness. Then all of a sudden, power or agency? I'm not sure how to describe it. It's familiar, but I don't know why. Like strange nostalgia without all the rose-tinted happiness. Weird. Dudes, I don't know about this. I peek into the bathroom, watching as Carl stares at himself in the mirror, running his fingers through his hair. I'm sure you look fine. Easy for you to say. You can't even grow hair. Carl sets the trimmer down, running his fingers through his beard. You tell him, Chase. Carl looks at me, and I have to agree that he looks quite a bit better. You look fantastic, a lot cleaner. Thanks. Now, you might want to get the gamer stink off of you. You smell like JRPGs and energy drinks. I find myself snickering, though Carl doesn't look anywhere near to the point of laughter. He just quietly shuts the door in my face. So, Chase, didn't expect to see you again. I look over to Daxton, who's standing beside the bathroom door with his arms crossed. Neither did I. Carl asked me to come over, so I did. Daxton nods. Do you think he's got this? I haven't known Carl for long enough to say really. I hope he does. I can't help but thinking a lot of things could go wrong, you know. Carl doesn't get out much. It's weird thinking about the future like that, isn't it? I cock my head and thumb in the amphibian's direction. What do you mean? The infinite possibilities of things that can happen? So, expect the worst. With an infinite number of timelines, there's no such thing as worst case scenario. Just an infinite number of varying shades of bad, really. That's a good way to see it. Do you actually believe that? He clicks his tongue, waving his hand dismissively. No, it was an episode of Adastra. Yeah. Daxton perks a furless brow towards me at the sound of the front door opening. We turn to make our way towards the entrance hall next to the kitchen. The familiar heavy footfalls of the dead give away who's here. Didn't know the job interview were a fucking group event. Why this music? Flynn's tall form meanders in, carrying a few Tupperware containers in a plastic bag. He doesn't look at either of us. Well, he wanted us to be here, and I didn't have anything else to do. He's in the shower now. I fidget with the inside of my pocket, trying to look nonchalant. Daxton's big blue eyes dart from me to Flynn, then back again. I have to go pee in something. I'll be back. Flynn's mouth twitches as if he's about to call Daxton back, but relents. Instead, he sets the bag on the kitchen island and begins rifling through it. His large tail twitches and furrows his brows, seemingly trying really hard to concentrate on whatever he's doing, which, as I look closer, is essentially just rearranging the Tupperware in the bag over and over. Flynn, he stops. His shift gazes towards me, and I'm at a loss of what to say. Part of me wants to call him a fucking weird, hypocritical asshole. The other part, well, I'm not really sure about the other part yet. Maybe I just broached the topic of, Jace, none of this shit matters. He gestures between us. I'm not going to try to speak cryptic to you here about feelings and shit. I just need you to know you're going to keep your promise, okay? He's frowning down at me. but his expression is more uneasy than outright stern. Flynn, fuck. His fist hits the countertop. The next thing I know, he's moving around the kitchen and grabbing paper towels. The lasagna's goddamn leaking everywhere. It's like a fucking menstrual pad in there. Why'd you bring lasagna? Because Lardass needs to eat something besides pizza and stuff heated self-hatred for a change. As opposed to you who eats salads and self-hatred? Shut the fuck up. At least I have a self. What's that supposed to mean? What was that supposed to mean? Flynn doesn't respond. Nagila busy was stacking paper towels underneath the bag before shoving it in the fridge. I heard the sound of hooves on the floorboard and turn around. Carl had shuffled into the living room quietly, so we didn't even notice. Aw, look at him in his little button up. So, how does it look? He looks good, but I'm more concerned with the fact that he looks more insecure than I've ever seen him. He shifts from hoof to hoof, not making eye contact at all, his fingers pulling at the rolled up sleeves. Very nice. You kind of look like you're pledging Alpha Lambda, but it works. What? Oh my god. He does look like a kind of a frat bro. I think it's the muscle and fat combination. Carl looks over at me and I give a start, realizing how bad my silence must have seemed. You do look great, Carl. But, Daxon chuckles and Carl's eyes widen. What? The beanie. You always wear that thing? Carl lifts a paw to it. Usually. You can't wear that. How do you even get it on? It's stretchy and my head fur looks awful. Seriously, you can't wear a beanie to an interview. Carl's getting all fidgety again, so Flynn butts in. Don't wear it. Oh, come on! He looks sad and angry and at the same time, which gives me pause. You go to work with your shirt half off. I'll wear it if I want. This is my interview. Usually Flynn would banter back, calling Carl a stupid dumbass or something of that nature, but he says nothing. After a couple of seconds of silence, Daxon coughs. Daxon looks at me and back at Carl. Well, I reckon that's all right. Carl sighs and shifts around again. We watch him expectantly. Dude, this just feels weird. This feels weird is all. It's new. You'll get used to it. I pull out my phone and look at the time. All right, we really need to head out. We should get there early. As we head out the door, Daxon makes as if to follow us. Flynn turns around to face him as Carl heads to the door. Hey, Dax. He stops. What? After the interview, Chase and some of our other friends are gonna be doing something. Wait, is Carl on board with this plan too? Daxon raises a brow. Oh? So could you fuck off for a bit? Jesus, Flynn. Part of me wouldn't mind the guy with Daxon's attitude present at what will surely be the biggest downer of the week. And to keep Flynn in check. Daxon doesn't budge, giving Flynn an indiscriminable look. After a while, Flynn just sighs, rubbing his brow. It's got to do with personal stuff. Oh, really? See? Why didn't you just say that? You wouldn't want to come. Then there's gonna be some heavy shit. Are you the heavy shit in question? Flynn says nothing. After a moment, Daxon just exhales and shakes his head. Just let me know how the interview goes. Salamander passes me. He speaks in hushed tones. You deserve better, man. I look down at my feet before heading out to the car. Honestly, yeah, you don't.